see what Seyh Effendi is sending today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Juma Mubarak. Inshallah. May we get the blessings of this last Juma of this month. You remember the first Juma of this month? Sort of. People don't even remember what they had for breakfast. How are they going to remember their Lord now? Remembering Lord. So easy. Alhamdulillah. So, we're entering now, inshallah, into the holy month of Rabiul Awal. May it be accepted. He is the Prophet of Mercy, alayhi salatu wassalam. His prophethood was and is still an example of mercy, isn't it? How to be merciful to each other, how to be merciful to the believers, how even to be merciful to the unbelievers. What kind of unbelievers? The unbelievers that spend every second of their lives to try to kill him and to kill Islam and to kill everyone who supported. That in the conquest of Mecca, he gave complete general amnesty to everyone. A couple of exceptions. But never before you will see in any example in history between two sides who have been fighting each other for years, for decades, especially if one side is determined to completely annihilate and complete the other side, that the other side, when they gain power, they're going to forgive. He is a Prophet of Mercy. His nation is a nation of mercy. His nation, for over 1300 years, you see how they have brought mercy and civilization. What is civilization but mercy? To the rest of this world. But that day, when we said we don't want his lifestyle, that his lifestyle does not matter. That day that we say we do not want his representative, his Khalifa doesn't matter. That day, we ceased to become merciful. We became tyrant. Muslims became tyrant to each other, tyrant to the world, the nation. Jews, Christians, and Muslims become tyrant to each other non-stop. This is the era of Jababira. This is the time of tyranny. La ilaha illa anta subhana in kuntum minaz zalimin. That is the dua of the Prophet Yunus alayhi salam. Compare now. What the Nabi Yunus, what the Prophet Yunus alayhi salam, what he did for him to say that, and what we're doing for us to say that. Yunus alayhi salam, he was a prophet of Allah. And he was guiding his nation who refused to listen to him. They completely became disobedient, arrogant, stubborn, tyrant to themselves and to him. And he spent his whole life. He didn't care for wife or children or work or possessions or anything. He was just running to bring his nation back to the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His nation refused, fighting against him, being tyrant to him. So what did he do? For him to say, La ilaha illa anta subhana in kuntu mina zalimin, all he did was, he left his nation. He left. They're not going to listen to me, so he left. He jumped to a ship. The ship went through very harsh weather conditions, a storm. Then they found out something is here that is causing this. Pulled straws. He came out. He jumped into the water and a fish swallowed him, the whale. The fish swallowed him. And he stayed in the whale's belly for 40 days. And while he is in the whale's belly, he's being punished. He was reciting La ilaha illa anta subhana in kuntu mina zalimin. It says, La ilaha illa anta. There is no Lord but you. Subhanaka, glory be to you. Inni kuntu mina zalimin. Truly, I am one of the oppressors. I'm oppressing myself. And this whole world, 21st century, from east, west, north and south, for men and women, believers and unbelievers, we have become tyrants. We have become complete tyrants to ourselves, tyrants to our families, tyrants to our friends, tyrants to our nations. Nations have become tyrants to each other. We have become tyrants to this world. We have become tyrants to the air, to the sea, to the animal life. And now they are planning to become tyrants outside of this planet. There is never ending. This age of tyranny, from the youngest to the oldest, that's what they're teaching, tyranny. And what is tyranny? What is it? What is zulm? What is being zalim? Where is this coming from? Being zalim, being a tyrant, having authority and abusing that authority, being a zulm, being zalim, is a characteristic that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, I have forbidden zulm to myself. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made tyranny forbidden, haram to himself. And he has made now tyranny haram, forbidden for his creation. But 21st century man has turned completely cruel and have become tyrants. With so much education, they become more tyrant. With more technology, they become more tyrant. With more money, they become more tyrant. With more amal and ibadat, they become more tyrant. You understand? We are living in it now. Where everywhere they are teaching you. You want something? Go and take it. Run. Run to get what you want. Don't look to see who is in front of you. If they're in front of you, crush them. You will not be responsible, they say, because they are standing in front of you. Muslims used to be the ones who protect each other and who even protect the unbelievers. Look to our history. This is not individual practice. This is state practice. This is imperial practice. They used to protect. Unbelievers look to see the civilizations from the beginning, not just to say one or two dynasties. No. From the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there was protection to the unbelievers. Unbelievers, they're peacefully, they are just worshipping. Didn't Holy Prophet ﷺ issue a decree giving protection to religious communities, especially the Ahlul Kitab, people of the book, the Jews and the Christians, to continue their practice without any harm. Didn't the Khulafa Rashidun, they continue that? They did. From the time of the Umayyads to the time of the Holy Ottoman Empire, that practice continues. It continued. In every Islamic empire, in every Islamic dynasty, it continued. Why it continued? Because Prophet did it. But when the Muslims left their Prophet and left Islam and they become tyrants, that's the time. Forget about being tyrants to unbelievers. They become tyrants to the believers. Because once you left the way of the Rahmat lil Alameen, the mercy to the universes, once you left the way of mercy, you become a tyrant. And once you are a tyrant, you have no heart, you can do anything. And you will still think that you are number one. You still think that you are rightly guided. You can be killing old men and women, children. You can be killing anyone. You will not have mercy in your heart. Where did we learn this from? Definitely not from Islam. Definitely not from the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Not from his Sahibul Kiram, not from the Tabi'ins, not from the Awliya Allah. We learn it from our ego, and we learn it from other people's egos. And other people's egos that says, no, when it's time for war, you can kill anything that is in front of you. That is not in Islam. The West practiced that, not in Islam. Even if there is war, there is very specific guidelines to it, laws to it. You cannot harm the old. You cannot harm the women, the children. You cannot even cut a tree. You cannot destroy places of worship. That is forbidden. But when you don't have any mercy, and you are thinking that you are the only one who is right and everyone else deserves to go to Jahannam, because every believer, every Muslim, every Ahli Sunnat, every Ahli Tariqat sees everyone as a potential, as a nominee to paradise, as a nominee to the heavens, as a nominee for safety. Those tyrants see everyone as a nominee for Jahannam. That's why it doesn't matter to them if they make their lives a Jahannam, a hell in this world, because they say they are bound to go to hell anyway. So who is making all these so-called Muslims with such ideas? It didn't happen during the time of the Prophet ﷺ that they took over. They were wiped out. It didn't happen during the time of the Umayyads or the Abbasis, during the time of the Fatimis. It didn't happen during the time of the Seljuks or the Ottomans, where this group of tyrants with no mercy in their hearts, still calling themselves Muslims, are attacking first the Muslims, then the non-Muslims. They did not exist. If they did, they were a very small community that from time to time they get smacked and they go underground. But they came out from the underground like a scorpion, and they are fed and they got huge and they start to take over the Muslim world. Who made them to come out? Not the Khilafat. Who made them to come out to say, now we give you and we feed you, and your sting is very powerful and strong. Now you can destroy anyone who does not believe the way that you believe in. Who gave them power? These square-head Wahhabis. Not the Muslims, not the Ahli Sunnat, not the Ahli Tariqat, not the Khilafat. Look to your history, you'll find the answer. So we don't apologize for the actions that they make. Those ones who support them and fed them and make them to become powerful, to sting the whole world, and now they're stinging them back, they should apologize. They should not only apologize, they should bend over backwards to fix the matter. But they don't want to fix the matter because they know with this kind of fitna in Islam, the Muslims will never be strong again. With this kind of fitna, Islam will not rule. We are not interfering with these matters. We speak to what? 2, 3 people. Our words don't reach nowhere. That's okay. The heavens, they are listening to us. And we are asking the heavens to send their heavenly support here to this world, to end this tyranny, to end this tyranny, to bring back mercy into this world, to bring back mercy into the hearts of mankind. The month of mercy is going to approach. But awliya, they are not going to celebrate so much. They sit and they cry, looking at the state of the ummah. And still the ummah being arrogant and stubborn. The ummah still being in ghaflat and being drunk. They are crying, not for themselves, they're crying for the ummah. Because the ummah is an amanat that is entrusted to them, but now their hands are tied. And they're just waiting for Sahibul Zaman to appear. This is what we're doing. May Allah accept our weight in our worship and make us to hold on tightly to our Shaykh, inshallah. There is safety in that. No other way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Fatiha. Amen. So, we have dessert, bring the dessert. Have some tea. And listen. You have questions, ask.